It's all that I do.
Yeah, the topic we are here before I start the presentation is something which should be very, very close to everybody's heart. We're talking about counterfeiting. We're talking about duplication of products. Duplication of products has multiple negative effects in society in different ways. Just imagine eating a fake product, eating a fake medicine. For a consumer, for a farmer, utilizing a fake pesticide or any kind of fertilizer. So the impact of having fake products or counterfeit products are multifold. Not only this, it impacts the economy in a very negative fashion because the right collection of taxes does not happen. The kind of people who are operating these kind of counterfeit companies could be utilizing their money for wrongful reasons. So the impact is multifold, as I'm saying. So we all should be activated in solving this problem. It is not my problem, it is our problem, and we have to work together to solve this problem. The good part in the journey of how consumer awareness or counterfeiting as a topic has evolved over the last 3 decades in India. Earlier, when we used to go out there and talk about this issue with brands, fundamentally the brands used to avoid this topic beyond that point, or at least not talk about it in front of the media, or they did not want to talk about it in advertisements. The biggest reason is because they did not want the consumer trust to be lost in any fashion, which has beautifully changed over the last I would say over the last 5-7 years especially. And the biggest reason for that to happen is the fact that now with the Gen Z coming in and the social media coming in, the young consumers of India are willing to tweet about it. The second they get a wrong product, they click a photograph, they are willing to post it, they're willing to talk about it. Now with this kind of initiative in consumerism coming in, the brands now are very willing to become a part of the solution in the sense that they're willing to talk about it very openly. They were always trying to solve this problem. It's not that the brands were not trying to solve this problem earlier, but now the brands are willing to talk about it. Certain companies like Mankind Pharma, which is a very big company in the pharmaceutical space, Alchem, again in the pharmaceutical space, have very openly spoken about it, are very openly talking about it. Similarly, companies in the automotive space are again very willing to talk about it with their complete supply chain and the dealership network which they have for auto parts. Made us go through a fantastic report which actually entails that Hyderabad is the most aware city in the country in terms of consumer awareness.
I agree.
So I'm very happy to be part of this discourse today because it's an opportunity for me to speak on behalf of ASPA, not as an honorary member only, but also as a consumer, as all of you. We are all consumers in this room, and I must also confess that Nakul has played a role in getting the consumers on board in ASPA. So Nakul, great job, and I'm very happy that they are not only industry, they have invited consumers to be also part of this discourse and this organization. So as an honorary member, I feel proud, and I am very happy to be here. So, what I want to make, obviously one point. Counterfeiting is not merely an intellectual property rights issue. It's not only that. It is not only about a problem of brands. It is first and foremost a consumer protection problem. It's a huge consumer protection problem. And as you all have seen, the kind of data which has got emerged out of the report which just got shared is enormous, The last mile of the authentication is the consumer. And all of you will agree that nobody would buy intentionally a counterfeit product. Nobody would buy.
But of course, there are some products, there are exceptions to everything. There are some products where consumers knowingly also buy, to have that status symbol, that dream, that I want to own a dream. So when they can't afford it, then they knowingly also buy sometimes. But that's a very small percentage. What we are talking about is majority of the people, and again the data has revealed, they come to know but they don't have any solution to it. And how do we provide that solution? It's not only a consumer loss, it's also a legitimate trade loss. It's also a loss for the country. Consumer might lose money, health, safety and trust. The legitimate manufacturers or traders lose business, reputation and investment. And the nation loses through tax evasion, destruction of legitimate economic activity, employment losses. Please note,
Like for example, the report which we have come out with Crisil, it talks about how the counterfeiting itself is to the scale of 20 to 30% as per consumer surveys, right? So if 20 to 30% is the consumer survey report clearly stating, then if we assume that even 50% of that, even I'm assuming this number, even 50% of that is getting sold in different ways where the exchequer is not even in the system, then that is the clear loss. So if I were to put a number, then if it's 20-25% of counterfeiting, then even 50% of that is 10%. Just imagine 10% of such losses.
So can you give some number?
Sir, actually, see, we are not the expert on this, so I would not want to give a number which is not right, which I cannot completely support.
ASPA is very, very happy to be coming to Hyderabad today to shed light on the problem of counterfeiting. We have done extensive study on this problem along with Crisil. The results are published in our State of Counterfeiting in India report 2025, which was recently published and showed an alarming rise in the rate of counterfeiting. It showed that 89% of consumers have encountered counterfeits at least once in their lifetime. 74% felt that the rate of counterfeiting has risen over the last year. This is a problem that doesn't just affect consumer health, it affects their pockets, it affects the Honorable Prime Minister's vision of a $5 trillion economy, because it takes away government revenues, it takes away the health of our industry. So this is a problem that we must counter through awareness, through adoption of technologies and measures that can help protect products from counterfeiting. And really, all of us as ASPA, as industry, as the government, as media should come together to make sure that counterfeiting is stopped, and so that we can continue to build a healthy, financially successful Bharat with thriving consumers across this great country. Thank you very much.